What's up, everybody? Colin Sheehan here. Welcome to the Trust the Profits YouTube page. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome to episode 3 of Kentucky Derby Prep Briefing. I'm by myself today. Vinny needed a week off, but that certainly does not mean that we did not have some really exciting races this last weekend in the Breeders' Futurity and the American Pharoah out west. The horse that I have been looking forward to the most was Loggins, and he did not disappoint. We'll get to that in a second. First thing we want to check out is the latest Kentucky Derby standings, and this show is meant to just give you a quick update on what's happened so far on the trail. As you can see, Cave Rock and Forte were the two newest winners this week to be added to the top of this list, each gathering 10 points for their victories. Blazing Sevens and Curly Jack had won the two previous weeks with their 10 points. And there's Loggins and National Treasure who jump on the leaderboard this week with their second place finishes in the American Pharoah and the Breeders' Futurity. Let's not get lost in the standings. It's really early. It's just something cool to check on and get a sense of the names that you're going to start hearing about. And two of those names, or three of those names that you are absolutely going to be hearing about, are Forte, Loggins, and Cave Rock. Those are some names that you definitely want to ingrain in your memory, because you're going to be hearing a lot of them as we march towards not only the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, but also the 2023 Kentucky Derby. And I understand that it's early. I understand that we're only in October, but it's never too early to start thinking about what could be for next year's Run to the Roses. So let's first talk a little bit about what happened in that Breeders' Futurity. Forte was a horse that me and Vinny were both somewhat down on, coming out of Todd Pletcher and jockey Irad. He had been running 7 furlongs on the slop in the Grade 1 hopeful up at Saratoga. And because of that race on the slop, we were curious not only to see how we do around 2 turns, but also on a fast track. In that same race, Blazing Sevens ran third that day. He came back to win the Champagne. However, that race was also in the slop. So we were a little curious, and we made a mistake in our Daily Double show of leaving Forte off, and we tape that show on Wednesdays. And if we had known the price that we were going to get on Forte, I think that certainly would have been an ad that you wanted to have on your ticket. Instead, we were both high on this horse named Loggins. And I'm going to bring up Loggins' past performances for you so you can get a sense. This is prior to that race. It was 4-1 on the morning line on his second start, facing a lot of horses that had not only more starts, but some stakes wins. Heavily bet on debut, and then heavily bet that day on Saturday. In fact, he was bet from 4-1 down to 3-2. And I think right then and there is when I realized we might have had a special horse. What I have highlighted on the bottom there is the great workouts that Loggins had performed over the Churchill Dirt. These two did not disappoint. Forte and Loggins. Loggins went out and put up a 22:46 half mile, and I thought for sure that was going to be too quick for Loggins. But him and Forte had an unbelievable stretch run, and we're going to show you in a second a split screen, because out west we had a horse named Cave Rock. Baffert Barn, who looked the part in his mile and the 16th win out at Santa Anita. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to play these two videos in a split screen, and they both break at the exact same time, so you can get a sense of how fast these horses were. Forte and Loggins are going to be on the top. Cave Rock is going to be the race on the bottom for you there. Loggins goes out, as I said, puts up 22:46. However, Cave Rock did as well at Santa Anita. Cave Rock is that 5 who's in the lead on the bottom of your screen. And on the top, Loggins is the 2 on the inside. Loggins does a great job. Right here, his back pinched a little bit. But you'll see him jump out to the lead right here on the backstretch. And right here, I'm feeling good until I see the time that they post. And when I see 46 seconds on the half mile for a 2-year-old in his second race, I immediately thought I was in trouble. So Loggins gets up to the lead. Cave Rock has had the lead easily. putting up that same time, 22:46. And as they go around the far turn here, you'll see Cave Rock never is really challenged. Forte here is being run alongside with Bourbon Bash, who did well on the front. And there you see the 7 Forte swinging to the outside right now. And as they make the far turn here, he's going to come up alongside Loggins. And this is at the point when I said Loggins has gone 46 seconds half mile. There's no way that he's going to hold off this charging Forte with IRAD aboard. And right here is when I thought we're done. However, look at Loggins. Look at him fight back. And as a second race, to see a horse right here, not only does he fight back, he's pinched. He takes the lead right here. Takes the lead. And you'll see Cave Rock finish. And Loggins and Forte finish about a second later, a full second later. And this is going to set us up for an absolutely unbelievable Breeders' Cup Juvenile. I hope all three end up making the gate. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile is actually your next race on the trail to the Kentucky Derby. It'll be worth the most points so far, 30 points to the winner. And remember, this year they're giving points out first through fifth. That's a change from last year where it used to be first through fourth. 30 to the winner, 12 to second, 9 to third, 6 to fourth, and 3 to fifth, a mile and a 16th at Keeneland's. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile and the Kentucky Derby, we had a jinx for a long time where the winner of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile hadn't won the Derby, but that was broken by Street Sense in 2006, 2007, and then also broken by Nyquist in 2015 and 2016. So that's our next race on the books for the Kentucky Derby prep briefing. Keep those names in mind. Those are the ones that are going to be most important to you. Stay tuned, and we'll have a great breakdown of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile as we get close for the next race on the trail to the Kentucky Derby.